I'm just taking time to make the proper use of my influence. Couple 100,000 cash, a few haters, lawyer fees for new cases, and a box of blunts later I give you.
This is Personal Injury Court.
All right.
This is the matter of Gray versus Henderson. Mrs. Gray, I understand that you are here suing Mr. Henderson for a pretty bad nose injury that you sustained while at his haunted house. I've looked at the court documents, you've submitted your bills and some other documents. It's my understanding that you are suing for $38,000 in medical bills, $8,000 in lost wages, and $50,000 for pain and suffering, for a total of $96,000. Now, Mr. Henderson, it's my understanding that you say she was there to be scared, not your fault. This is her doing. Well,
I'm hoping that she ain't go up in there and one of them little clowns punch you. Hey, yo, you ever been to them little haunted houses, man, when they pop out at you and do all that? She might have got socked in the nose.
Get into the legal sauce. Now, Miss Gray, tell me how we got here.
My best friend and I have been best friends for
since third grade.
Since third grade, yes. So
y'all even look at each other with love.
Yes. Everyone knows that where Janine is, Heather will be too. Heather here is a bit of a fright freak. We are best friends, but we're very different in our taste of excitement. So like she loves those kind of things, and I do not. But Heather won 2 tickets for this haunted house, and everyone was talking about it, our other friends. So I was really excited. So I was like,
did you go to last year's?
I did not. I've never been.
So you really didn't know what to expect?
Yeah, not at all, because, I always skip it. So I decided to go, and we planned, and I was actually really excited.
Now, Mr. Henderson, how long you been running this haunted house?
Your Honor, we've been in business for over 17 years now.
And what's the goal?
We're all about the experience. We want every person that crosses our threshold to feel like they just to come to an event. So we lay it on thick. We hire the best costumed actors to portray our characters. 17 years, we've never had an issue.
Tell me this. Most of the haunted houses I've been to are these kind of warehouses that they rent for a couple days around Halloween, and you go in there and people scare the hell out of you. Was it that kind of thing? Dark and, creepy?
Yes, it was very dark. There were a lot of attractions. They did put a lot of effort into it.
Okay. Well, it harkens me back, because I've got 3 sons. I used to take them there. I was always worried about them getting away from me, because they were certainly going to get scared.
Right.
But it was always very dark.
Yes. A lot of strobing lights and loud noises, scary noises.
What happened?
I see Mr. Henderson nodding. That's really the atmosphere.
Yeah. I mean, you come to a haunted house to be frightened. I mean, that's the whole intent and purpose of a haunted house.
And you knew that, right?
Yes.
You knew you were going to be scared.
Yeah, so I definitely knew I was going to be scared. So I get ready. We get there. She shows the free VIP tickets.
Why VIP? What did that allow you to do that the regular folks don't get to do?
They took us through a separate entrance, which was great.
Were you excited?
Yes, I was excited.
Was Heather excited?
Of course I was.
How long had you been inside before the bad stuff happened?
Probably about 10 minutes. Taking our time, going through the different rooms and attractions. And so we get...
And you had been scared, right? You've been in there a while, things are jumping out at you.
Yes.
So what happened?
So we get into this hallway, and it was very, very dark, and we get separated. We lose each other, and that's when everything changed.
Did getting separated from Heather add to you being insecure in this place?
Yes, absolutely. I was only there in the first place because of her and for her. So I'm looking for Heather. I am overwhelmed, freaking out right now. Then to make everything worse, a chainsaw guy jumps in front of me with his chainsaw, and it's loud, and he's coming at me.
Scared the hell out of you.
Scared the hell out of me, Your Honor. And my reaction was to back up. And then I feel something on my shoulder.
What did you feel?
You can't touch him.
Hands, like hairy hands.
You can't touch him.
Look back. It's a werewolf character, huge werewolf character, touching me, and I immediately freak out and run. That's the.
Did you know where you were running to?
No idea. I couldn't even see.
It
was pitch black.
You're
no
just
one
running away from the werewolf.
Of course, I was running away. I wanted to get away from him.
And so you start running. Then what happened?
So I run, and as soon as I start running, I hit a
Come
brick
on
wall.
now.
I hit.
Now you can see from the size of my nose and playing football in college, I've broken that nose a couple times, so I'm feeling those days. What were you feeling when you
You
hit?
suing this man because you went to a haunted house and got scared and ran and hit a wall? I want to see how she gonna make this his fault. But then again, I do know when you go to them haunted houses and all of that stuff, when you sign the little waiver, because you gotta sign it, when you sign the little waiver, it lets you know that they can't touch you. They're not supposed to touch you. You can jump out and scare somebody and spook them or whatever, but once you put your hands on somebody, I don't know if you putting your hands on me to yank me down, you're not supposed to touch them. So I want to see how she gonna make it fit.
That wall.
Immediate shock and a lot of pain. You broke your nose. I'm sure you understand, Your
broke my
Honor.
nose,
It's
too. It
a
ain't-
very painful situation.
It's-
A lot of blood.
This looks like it hurts today.
Yes, it does. Blood everywhere. I'm very dizzy from the concussion,
Okay.
and I'm just distraught at this point.
Now, Mr. Henderson, do you remember when this incident happened?
Yes, Your Honor, I do.
Take me to that night.
I was on the premises that night, but I was not in the vicinity when it happened. I became aware of it through Mr. Grieco and Mr. Powell here, who were present when the incident occurred, sir.
Okay.
And, well, you know, I just got to say this. Ms. Gray knew what she was getting into, Your Honor.
She knew she was going to be scared, right?
Yes, yes.
I mean, you're not saying that she would know she's going to have a broken nose at the end of the day, right?
No,
I
Your
hope
Honor,
not. I
no.
hope
But what I am asserting is that this broken nose is due to her own negligence. She knew what she was getting into.
Excuse me?
You still got a little bit of the black eyes and this bandage.
Yes, so what happened was they tried to fix it.
This is
Damn.
you right here?
Yes.
Now, how fresh is this? Is this that day or the next day or
Sheesh.
something?
I believe that's the next day.
She
yes,
was
the
trying-
the
I
next
see
morning.
they've actually got
Outta there.
packing in your nose.
Yes, they were trying to fix it without having to do surgery. That didn't work out very well, so I had to go ahead and get a nose job. Everything started to fall apart in my life after that.
How does a nose and black eyes like you have affect you as a bartender?
My face paid my bills, right? I need to look good.
Mine too.
Right?
Now, Mr. Henderson, let me understand. You keep saying this is not my fault. She was negligent. Why is this not your fault? She goes for a day
Honor.
of excitement and fun with her friend, right, to add to their memories, and she leaves with a different face.
Two reasons. First reason is that in 17 years, we've had 500,000 people come through, over 500,000. Not a
Okay.
single person has been injured.
You got lucky.
And the second thing, and the most important thing, is that she got these tickets from a radio ad that in this radio ad, they actually clearly state that this is a frightening experience. Matter of fact, the catchphrase is in there, prepare to be scared.
You've submitted that ad to the
Yes,
court, right?
yes, yes.
Let's hear it.
Experience your worst nightmare. Prepare to be scared as you enter the portal of darkness and paranoia. Prepare to be scared.
Man, that was whack.
Now, Miss Gray, did you hear that
That
ad?
was
Your Honor, I do
whack.
not listen to the radio. Again, my friend Heather was the one who entered the contest, listened to the radio station, and got the.
So that's the first time you've heard that.
It is the first time.
But, Your Honor, the ticket that she redeemed when she got to our establishment clearly has stated on it, prepare to be scared. This is a ticket that
You
she
weren't
had.
prepared to be scared. I was prepared
Sheriff
to be
Matt,
scared.
Did you look at the ticket?
You
Sheriff
weren't
Matt, please see
prepared
the
to
ticket.
have us there.
Did you
It's
look
as
at
simple
the
as
ticket?
that.
Did
You were
read
not
the ticket?
prepared to have us
Did
there.
you read the ticket?
Order in this court. Now, Miss Gray, you knew you were going to be scared, right?
Of course, I
And
was.
the fact that a chainsaw is there and somebody looking like they want to kill somebody, that wasn't surprising to you, was
No,
it?
not at all, Your Honor. I was totally prepared to be scared. I was not prepared to be in the hospital. I was not prepared to have to pay $38,000 in medical bills.
If you wanted to go to the happiest place on earth, you should have went somewhere else.
I'm looking at your ticket. It says prepared to be scared.
Thank you.
Sheriff Matt, show this to Miss Gray, and then get it back to me because I got some questions about it.
Thank you.
Miss Gray, you remember having that ticket, right? Mm-hmm. And based on that ticket, and frankly, your understanding and experience with haunted houses, you knew they were going to scare the hell out of you.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
This was not the issue. His characters, to my opinion, were really lacking a lot of training, grabbed me and terrified me in such a way that is not safe.
Mr. Henderson, On your ticket, it says prepared to be scared.
Yes,
if
sir.
she didn't see the radio ad, and you know how people are with pieces of paper, they just hand them to the
Big bold
ticket
print on
taker,
that
right?
ticket, Your Honor. There's big bold print on that ticket. And plastered all over every entrance are warning signs that say, prepare to be scared.
You see this warning sign here? Is this one of your
Yes, that's one of them.
signs?
Yes, yes.
And where would something like this be?
I believe that one might be at our VIP entrance, sir.
Now, Miss Gray, that's as plain as the nose on my face. I mean, you had to see that sign, right?
Your Honor, there was no sign at the VIP entrance.
We purposely put signs at every entrance because we want people to be prepared. We want people to be fully aware of what they're getting themselves into, which is why we...
Do y'all understand? I'm not getting it. I'm not understanding. Maybe it's something that I'm missing. I'm waiting on her to say, they touched me, they weren't supposed to touch me. I don't get how you go to a haunted house and you know that it's a haunted house and you don't think you're going to be haunted or afraid or whatever. I don't understand that. I don't understand why she's suing him because she ran into the wall. He didn't push her. He didn't shove her. He didn't trip her. Whatever made her run into the wall, I don't know, man.
Had such an impeccable safety record. We train our employees on how to spot potential dangers for our guests, you know, and be proactive in situations to watch out for guests, which is what happened for Miss Gray. This
Your
actually
employee
happened.
created the situation.
Now, Mr. Henderson, Miss Gray is kind of pointing the real finger at your employees. It's my understanding you brought a couple of those employees here. I really would like to hear from them since they were there.
Absolutely. Yeah, so this is Vito Greco. He's our chainsaw cosplay actor.
Hello, Your Honor.
And
Mr.
this is
Greco,
Kitty Powell.
please step to the podium. You were the chainsaw guy?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, and you actually had a real chainsaw in there?
No, it was actually a prop.
Is this you?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you go through training for this job?
Yes.
Okay, what kind of things are you trained to do other than try to scare people?
Besides scaring people, just trying to spot dangers, to see if people are actually too frightened, where they get themselves trip, fall, anything along those lines.
Now, if somebody looks like they're too frightened, are you trained to kind of back off?
Yeah, just break character and
He did
not scare them.
Sorry, Your Honor, he did not.
When you're doing your thing, is that chainsaw on? Does it do?
Actually, I brought it with me if you'd like to take a look.
Pick it up for me.
Yeah, it's this one, and it makes noises.
Show me how you did it, but I know Miss Gray's not as big and muscular as Sheriff Matt. Get as close to Sheriff Matt as you got to Mrs. Gray. Turn it on. And what are you doing with the chainsaw?
Right here.
Okay. Matt, you don't look very scared, okay? You may step back to the podium. So tell me what you remember happened that day, Mr. Greco.
Me and Kenny usually work together, and
Yes.
we usually have our same routine.
What's he doing while you're in Miss Gray's face with the chainsaw?
He is the werewolf.
Okay.
So he pretty much he waits on my cue and then pops up after me.
Now, let me hear from Kenny.
So, yeah, my job, like as he said, is to usually, I stand on the other side.
Okay.
So when they back up, I'm there to scare them.
And what do you do to let them know you're present? What do you remember happened this night? Did you jump out like you usually do?
Well, so this night was a little bit different. She actually started to run, and then she was backpedaling, and I
Okay.
just saw she was going to injure herself really bad, so I put my hands on her shoulder, and then she just freaked out and turned around, and that's...
So if she's backpedaling and you put your hands out, you caught her.
Yeah, I saved her.
You
I helped
grabbed
her.
me. No.
I helped you.
You did not help
address
me.
your
Yes, I
comments to
did.
the court.
Your injuries could have been much
Address your
worse.
comments to the court.
Your Honor, he
Yes, ma'am.
grabbed me.
Sheriff Matt, would you get that hairy hand for me? So the grab or was it on the side? Was it on the top? I mean, this
It was-
kind of thing?
Yes, it was on the top, Your Honor. And I don't understand how he claims to be helping me by grabbing me.
Mr. Powell, I put this thing up on my shoulder like this. Is that about how you tried to catch her?
Yeah, it was a little bit like more right on the edges of her shoulder, just to
Right.
kind of stabilize her.
When you caught her, did you say, "Roar," like that?
No, not at that point, no.
What are they doing after you hit the wall? What are Mr. Powell and Mr. Greco doing?
Well, they are now trying to help me. And thank God Heather showed up. So, you know, when I opened my eyes from being dizzy,
They are trying to help me, but thank God Heather showed up. Come on now, bro. I feel like she trying to come up. I feel like she trying to come up off of them because, like, it is no way possible you can think that this is his fault because of his warehouse or whatever it is. You can't. Like, I can see. I can.
Saw her.
We keep talking about Heather. I want to hear from Heather. When you arrived on the scene after your friend had hit that wall, what was going through your mind?
She basically had a concussion, so it was so hard just to see my friend in so much distress.
Did she ever say she was caught or grabbed or anything of that sort?
She just kept saying she was grabbed by these hairy hands, and
Okay.
I was very confused on what she was talking about until I saw the werewolf.
Thank you, Miss Heather, for your testimony. You may be seated. I've heard all the testimony that I need. I'm ready to make
What
a
y'all
decision.
think?
The legal framework for any personal injury case is that Ms. Gray has to prove that you were wrong, that you did something wrong, and that your wrong caused her injuries. Clearly, you're injured. Here, there was competing evidence. That is, you go into a haunted house, you expect that you and your girlfriend are going to have another memorable experience, and then someone grabs you and you end up running into a wall, crushing your nose. Mr. Henderson, all day you've been protesting about you have no responsibility. You put up signs, you put out a radio ad, you did everything you could to let her know that this was going to be a scary experience. When I looked at this ticket, I was impressed that prepared to be scared, yet another affirmation that you're getting what you paid for. I looked at it closely, the warning in the fine
Don't
print.
touch 'em.
Warning, event may be too intense for children under
No
12 years of
touching.
age. That's clear. No touching the characters. And that reminds me of my brother who actually punched one of the characters in a haunted house. But this last line of it makes me ticklish about this, and it goes into the proof of wrong. It says, characters will not
can't
touch
touch
you.
them.
The evidence is clear that the werewolf touched Mrs. Gray. The way it was described with the hand on the shoulder, I understand why you panicked, but I'm not giving you the full $96,000 because you were 49% responsible. Because you decided to run into the wall. I find in your favor and against Mr. Henderson for $48,960, which is 51% of what you originally sought from this court. That is my final verdict, and this matter is adjourned.
To be honest with you, I was on bro's side. I was really on your side, and to be honest with you, I am. I'm on his side, but at the end of the day, he made out. He made out because it says clearly, I know for a fact, when I used to go to them haunted houses and all of that stuff, they tell you it's on the ticket that they can't touch you. They can't touch you. Because if they touch you and you start tripping out, then that's when, boom, you take the liability. I still feel like it wasn't supposed to be, no $100,000 case or nothing like that. Like, I'm not saying she faked her injuries or nothing. I'm not saying that. But I know I broke my nose before. Like this little part, y'all see, like right here. Right here. I broke my nose. Matter of fact, y'all see right here. I broke my nose and I almost lost my eye. It ain't cost me $96,000. That wasn't a $96,000 job on my mama. When they had to fix my nose, I ain't get no shit. He took his hand and was like, boom, and put my nose right back into place. So I don't know where the numbers came from, but at the end of the day, it is messed up because you don't want to see nobody get hurt. Especially you don't want to see nobody getting hurt when you going out there to have fun. She went out there with her homegirl. They've been cool since they was in the womb and all of that other good stuff. So when you doing something like that, you never want to see nobody get hurt. But the whole court for $96,000 thing, I'm like, nah, like, gosh. Maybe 10 in the season pass if you want to come back. I don't know, man, but this one about done. GTG, the family's always. I love y'all. I'm out.